Yo, YouTubers, it's been a while, hasn't it, since I've done a beer review. Got a mad one today. Well, tonight. It's approximately, what are we on here, mate? 2046. It's a late one. I'm totally sober. 26th of August, 2025. 23:46. Nearly quarter to, well, it's just gone quarter to midnight. I'm sort of watching our skid stream on YouTube at the moment, like on my big screen on my PlayStation. And I was on a live stream watching, I don't know if anyone's heard of a channel called Last Minute Lacey. And she was really having a hard time, proper depressed and that, like, so I've been watching the stream for like the last 4 hours. Till she cheered up and that, like, because she looked like she was having a hard time, like, so. Anyway, I'm a bit late, I thought, let's do a beer review. Because it's a special beer review, this. I haven't had one of these for such a long time, you wouldn't believe it. This was my go-to drink years ago. Before I hit whiskey, tequila, and everything else. Absinthe and all that, like. So, it's not one of these, by the way. Wish it was, but you know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't checked any Tesco's near me or anything, like, because I was trying like I had such an anticlimax last time I went, you know. I thought, wow, you got Bushies and Tesco's, and they had not in, like, in mine, like, proper anticlimax, like, I don't know what Bushies are playing at, like, but hope it's going to be a regular thing, I don't know, like. Scouts, if you're watching, like, ask them in the shop where you go. Ask them about, say, what? How come you getting the Bushies in, and what was it? Is it a national thing or what? Like, you know what I mean? Because it'd be cool if I'd love nothing better than that, like. But anyway, this is an old drink that I used to drink a lot when I was younger. When I kind of packed in, getting stoned a lot, like, really, and I turned to drinking because I didn't want to talk to, shall we say, cannabis people anymore. You know, Slim Shadys. I didn't want to talk to Slim Shadys anymore. You know what I mean? So, and I turned to this drink and I drank it with love. I had a love affair with it, like, basically. It's been so long, and I didn't want to drink tonight. You know what I mean? But I bought some berries. I got some thingies cheap. You know them Love Lane Liver Bird drinks, the stouts. So I'm on a bit of a stout plane, like, you know. Got them in, like, you know, because they're cheap. Put them in the fridge, and so it's like, you know, temptation. You know, I didn't intend drinking, like, but I bought one blue. I bought a baby-faced assassin from Roosters, you know what I mean? And I've got 2 beers to review if I get past this beer and the other beer, because I was only planning on having one drink and doing a review, but I've got 2 to review, 2 beers I've never tried, plus a load of stouts and, well, like I say, some liver birds and stuff like that. But anyway, let's do a drum roll, because this is going to be quite a mad one, this, mate. Because it's been so long since I tried it, and if it tastes the same and if I get the same vibe, man, are you ready for this? Yes, it's Guinness Original, guys. It's Guinness Original. It was my favourite Guinness. You know, people say, oh, you haven't had Guinness unless you go to Dublin, or you haven't had Guinness unless you drink it in Ireland, or, you know, Guinness draft in pubs and stuff. I don't like it. You know, Guinness draft, like, I only drink, you know, when I used to go to pubs when I was drinking this stuff, this was my go-to. I used to love this in the bottle. It's got to be in a bottle, not a can. Guinness Original, right? And I tended to only drink Guinness draft when you're in a pub, because if you buy bottles of Guinness, it costs more, doesn't it, in a pub? You get me? Like, so you have them in the fridge, don't people? You've got to resort to, you know, when I was a Guinness lover, and it wasn't for Irish reasons or anything, it was because it replaced the hole that was, you know, the piece that was missing when I stopped getting stoned. Get me? Like, I don't know why, like, it just seemed to be the only drink that made me feel like what should we say, content watching Emmerdale Farm and having to sit through Emmerdale Farm, EastEnders, and Coronation Street. You know what I mean? This was what I had to do because I wasn't getting stoned anymore. Right, it's Guinness Original. Oh man, I mean, I don't drink it anymore these days. I stopped drinking stouts because I was putting weight on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to lose weight. I've been sort of trying to diet, but I couldn't resist buying drinks today. I went out and bought some. I needed tea bags and food, and came back with a few beers. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get on with this, shall we? For that, love this stuff. Now, yeah, let's do the red. Let's do the red test, eh? Let's do the red test. Used to be red. This stuff. I know some people don't like seeing this, like, you know, people doing this, like, but there you go. Yeah, it's red, isn't it? It's still red. Yeah, it's red. Everyone thinks it's black. And when I did this with the last stout I did a review of, I think the bulb didn't even shine through, you know what I mean? But this is still... I discovered that by accident once. I was in a pub with it, I had a pint of Guinness in front of me on the table in the pub, and the sun shone through it, and I seen it, it was red. I was like, whoa, I thought it was black. I mean, look, you get these in Liverpool, these people come up to you and they put these on you. Like, I've been wearing this since I realised it was wood. I thought they were plastic. You know what I mean? These things. I thought they were plastic. And the wood actually wouldn't. Like, so I've been wearing it. And look, that was the card I got. Like, work smoothly. Lifetime peace. 60 years old. Like, it's a bit late, that one, isn't it? Lifetime peace, but, you know. Cosmic card. You know what I mean? These people, they're like monks in Liverpool. They just come up to you, put the bracelets on, and give you and ask for money. And you sort of go, okay, you know. So I gave him about £4, something like, and then he gave me that card, like, you know what I mean. Like, this was a good few weeks ago, this, like, but like I say, I wouldn't wear that because I thought they were plastic beads, but they're real wood. So yeah, I'm wearing that, like. But anyway, look at this. Any descriptions on it? Let's see. It's going to be weird, this, mate. I'm kind of watching our kids stream at the same time. Like. The original extra stout. I mean, I always preferred the taste of this to Guinness Draft. Guinness Draft's kind of winey and watery, yeah, with no real fizz, isn't it? Like, there's not much carbonation, and it does get you well. You know, when you drink Guinness Draft in a pub and you have, like, say, 3 pints, 4 pints, you get outside, the oxygen hits you, and you end up like walking like a drunken man, proper, don't you? But anyway, the original extra stout. Now, I don't care. You know, people say, oh, you haven't tasted Guinness unless you go to Ireland and all that business. Probably true. I've never been to Ireland yet, like, you know what I mean? So, I've never really proved that. Everyone I've asked about it, like, you know what I mean, relatives and everything, they've all agreed and said, oh, yeah, you know, it's completely different in Ireland. Like, well, anyway, Guinness, Marble Street, Soho, London, brewed in Dublin. Thank F for that. Say it's brewed in Dublin, it's transported in a bottle to the mainland. What's your problem? Contains barley, alcohol may cause health problems. Yeah, I already know that. Alright, no mad descriptions, nothing like that. Half a Guinness written on the bottle there, isn't it? Yeah. Been a while, mate. I used to get the bigger ones, you know, like they're like a slightly bigger bottle with a screw on top, you know what I mean? And I used to love them things. But anyway, just especially to open this bottle, I've got this from Dublin. Someone brought it back and don't talk to them anymore at the moment, like, whatever it's all about, like, because, you know, disagreements and all that kind of stuff, you know. Look, I'm 60 years old, can't be doing any grief or arguments or any silly stuff, you know, especially from younger people. Can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. You respect your elders, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm going to use this anyway. You know, I've used it a couple of times, like, but It's a keyring, you know what I mean? So it's from Dublin. The keyring's from Dublin. The beer's from Dublin. Let's crack it open, shall we? If the keyring works, like. Yeah, that's right. First. No, it's not the first time I tried it. Yeah, nice. Oh, that's a familiar aroma. I tell you that for nothing. That's a familiar aroma. The original extra stout. Extra stout. Hold on. We didn't get the all crucial percentage there, did we? What's the percentage? 4.2. 4.2%. I haven't got a Guinness glass. There is a Guinness glass in our skid somewhere, like, but my last Guinness glass, I had a couple, I had quite a few actually, and they all got broke one by one in silly parties, well, gatherings and silly weird stuff. And the very last one I had got smashed stupidly, like, by some bell end who used to come here, like. But anyway, to pour the glass, see what we've got. This is my review glass. Look, I'm holding it steady tonight because I've got no shakes because I haven't had a drink for. I didn't even have a drink for the Liverpool game yesterday, you know what I mean? Oh, it's got that lovely treacle look about it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm really looking forward to this. It's been a long time. I used to have a love affair with Guinness, me, mate. Right, there's voices in the background. It's quite foamy. It's been in the fridge. Don't know what's going on there. Hold on, just in case the voices are bleeding over. Right, okay. Oh, look at that. It's a bit unsettling. You know, it's got a bigger head than Frank's side bottom. Well, man, that's going to take a month to settle down, mate. Consider it's a bit chilled. I haven't shook it up and all, mate. So we got friends here, mate. How you doing, mate? You alright? Hey, tell them about it, mate. World tour. This is outdated now. Look, 20. Look at that. That's a 2020, 2020. 2020, like, you know. Oh, 2020 to 2022. Look, see. And I never really did much, like, but I've got to make some more of these, update them, and see me, there's me with the guitar, see the robot. I'm just the robot for the dog, see. And there's our vehicle. You know, the vehicle being symbolic of, like, musical vehicle, a spaceship even, like. That's not a motorbike, that's a spaceship that looks like a motorbike at the moment. So yeah, I did all that. It's good, isn't it? A little bit of a plug there. While I'm waiting for this beer to settle. It doesn't even look like it's ever going to settle. I don't know what's going on there. Number one on the dog. You know, are you in the camera or what? You in there, mate? What's going on the sofa? Tell you what, see, it's sideways slightly, alright. You don't fall off, no. No, dog. He's always behind me, mate. He's always behind me. He's been dead since, what year did the dog die, man? Say, 98, 97, something like that. Maybe later. 2000? 99? 98? Oh, mate, come on. This is like a souffle. Tell you what, though, looks alright apart from that. Like, I tried pouring it dead slow, you know what I mean? I did my best. I don't want to break the ice and sort of, drink the foam because I like to get the taste, for the review. Oh man, bloody no! I thought this would be dead quick and easy. You know what I mean? Yes. Been a long time since I've seen that magnolia head. That's the best way to describe it. Magnolia. Oh, there's loads in the bowl. Come on, check. If I can do in the meantime, try to make a couple of stories about the dog, like the dog in question, like you know, Duke. His name was. I called him Dog because he wants. That's what he wanted to be called, Dog. When we became friends, um, we had him for quite a long time, and he was a pain in the ass, right? And we, like everyone's got a family dog, and everyone loves the dog. We didn't, because he was so naughty. He done things naughty, he attacked people. But the thing is, he didn't attack people. It's one of the reasons I want to do this beer review for. Let's talk about this dog that I keep going on about. Like, he's dead. He's been dead for a long time. He died in a dog's home, right? He was taken off us because he was quite a menace. It was like I was like Dennis the Menace, and he was Ganasha. You know what I mean, right? And if he went out towards people or strangers, he was dangerous. He was dangerous. We didn't bring him up like that. He didn't start off dangerous. He was quite a weak, innocent little puppy when he first arrived. My sister got him, like, you know what I mean, from someone. She's like, I'll look after him. He's mad. Can I have this dog? I'll promise I'll look after him. As soon as he started growing up, she disappeared, and no one wanted to look after him. None of us did, really. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, none of us did, right? And as he grew up, he just seemed to. Every dog we had, we didn't give them needles and nothing, and they usually died or disappeared. Do you know what I mean? We were just like weird in our house. We didn't pay for needles for dogs and nothing like that. We used to like, you got to survive or you're gone. And he was the same, like, the dog, the real one, like, and we gave him away to someone to try and get rid of him. Because someone thought, I liked it. It was one of my old drummers, right? And so he lived with my old drummer for a while. My old drummer drank a lot and didn't really, he used to go out for drinks and leave me in a cupboard and that, like. So he used to come back and knock on the door, trying to get back with us. You know what I mean? It was like quite, we lived about 300, 400 yards away, this lad, on another estate kind of thing. And the dog used to come and knock on the door, hoping to get back in. We were like, nah, we got rid of him now, like, you know what I mean? But he still wasn't naughty at the time, right? He wasn't like violence or nothing, yeah. And eventually, he got it while he was living with this Tony. He was outside of Tony's house on the estate, and he got jumped by an actual gang of dogs. I don't. It's like you wouldn't believe it, would you? It's a bit like the scene in the Hulk movie when the Hulk gets attacked by these three devil dogs. It's a bit like that, I suppose. And he was always a little fighter. He always kicked off one of the dogs and bitches. He was quite naughty, you know what I mean? In that sense, he wasn't tame, and none of us trained him. We didn't make him violent and all like that. But anyway, after this gang of dogs jumped him, and they had this fight. And Tony said he saw it out of his window. He was going, "Oh my word, Bruce, you should have seen it. It was mental, mate." Duke was like proper taking them on, and he was like half English bull, half Staffy, as far as I know, like. You know what I mean? So he's quite a tough, muscly dog, you know what I mean? But all these dogs battered him, like, like really ravaged him, right? And I went to the house a bit later and I was like, what's happened here? And he got jumped by a gang and he told me the story. And he said it was this really proper almighty fight, the ultimate dog fight, right? And he was nearly dead. And this vet came round, he called a vet to sort him, you know what I mean? Because he was that bad, like. And the vet said to Tony, he either has this shot, whatever it was, adrenaline or something, or he dies, basically. And Tony only had like £11 or something for his food for that week or something, and his tobacco and drinks or whatever, you know what I mean? And then the fella said it's a bit about 13, 14 quid for this jab, like, you know. And he only had £11 on him or something, and he goes, I've only got like 11 quid, like, and the fella said, alright, I'll accept it, like, and he gave him the jab, which saved his life, basically, right? And I went round there, and he was like in a bad way on the floor, like near the, you know, like in a, like sort of recovering from the jab. Like honestly, he came back from the dead, basically. You know what I mean? And even when I went close up to him, like Tony said to me, "Don't go near him, Bruce. He's proper volatile, like with anybody." You know what I mean? And I went, "He won't be funny with me." And I went up close to him. He was like, looking at me like growling. He's like he was that bad. It's the only time he ever attacked me, like, you know, or he didn't actually attack me, but, you know, he looked volatile. But I've got loads of stories to tell about him, like, right, and that jab must have, like, brought him back from the dead, basically, and after that, he was the most volatile, uncontrollable. He obviously wouldn't trust other dogs, and he didn't trust other people neither, he was okay with us after that, right? And what happened was that he recovered in Tony's, but he still came back to our house knocking on the door. He used to knock on the door with his nose on the letterbox, like. So we took him in again because he wouldn't stop knocking on the door. And my dad was like, "You might as well take him back, man." You know what I mean? Right. And the rest is history, and I've got so many stories to tell about him. Like, you wouldn't believe it. He was just so funny, you wouldn't believe it. Like, you know what I mean? But he buzzed off coming back to our house and settled in again because we weren't going out all day drinking and stuff and leaving him on his own. At least he was like, but none of us wanted to look after him, if you know what I mean. He was like a pain in the arse, mate. We used to let him out on his own, and he knew this town Birkenhead like you wouldn't believe. You know, he was like, we had to let him out at night so everyone was safe. You know what I mean? And he'd go wandering around, and oh man, the things he did to people was unreal. You know what I mean? He beasted me dad big time a couple of times, and I won't go into that right now because you know this beer's chilled out and I'm ready to go. It's still like a bit like ice cream on the top. I've had to work. That's how long it's look. Crying out loud, this is mental. It's like I didn't ask for the creams. What's it called? A Knickerbocker Glory. This isn't meant to be a beer. It's meant to be a glass of Guinness, not a Knickerbocker Glory. But you see the colour of that magnolia. Look at the froth, mate. Maybe it's because the love stories, like, you know, might be rekindled. It's like, you know, the Guinness is like, please don't forget me, don't forget me, don't forget me, bros. You're the conductor, you're the composer, the conductor, you're the writer. Oh man, look, you ice cream. But yeah, as the beer kick, I don't know how long this beer review's going to be. Like I said, I've just been watching a live stream for 4 hours, watching the beer, like, because in Canada, the last minute Lacey check her channel out and give her some support, because she was really depressed and, you know, upset and crying and stuff, so I was like, well, let's watch this stream and see if we can cheer her up and that, like, and she started getting the shit together, you know what I mean? But anyway, don't know if any of you have heard of that channel, that last minute. She put some really interesting videos on as well, you know, about the old world and things like that, you know. Well, you know, check it out, plug, like, you know. Right, see if we can top this up carefully. Don't hate when a glass overflows. What a pain, it's been in the fridge all day. Well, Skid's confronting a crocodile there, like. Look, he's trying to kill it with a knife. You don't even. Oh, he's killed it. He's killed the crocodile. He's killed it. No, he hasn't. It's bleeding. He's actually. I don't know if you can. Yeah, he's killed it. He's killed the crocodile. Make a crocodile sandwich and make it snappy. I don't know what to do about that bit of foam there. Look at it, it's like over the edge. Look. This should be done in like, what is it, already half an hour's gone, like, so I told a little bit of a story about it. I'm trying to explain why Duke was mad, you know what I mean? The dog gang, a gang, mate, we're talking about like 4 or 5 dogs, came from nowhere and ravaged him and beat him up. And oddly enough, years later, I got beat up on the same estate, right? I actually had a heart attack, believe it or not, right? And the weird thing is, someone resuscitated me secretly or someone brought me back, do you know what I mean? Like me and him. He's my symbolic representation of the dog. I'll talk about him in future beer reviews, maybe even when this kicks in, I don't know. Should have been buried by now, I can't believe this. You know, I tell a story of Duke, the comedy of the dog, like, this is why my band's called Number One and a Dog, you know what I mean? You know, it's like I'm a solo artist, or he's there with me, you get me? He's the manager, he's the boss, he's the agent, he's the reason I play. Look at the guitar, for crying out loud, look. You know, the guitar I've had for a long time, 17 years now. Oh, black and white. I've done that to sort of, because of the dog, like, you know what I mean? But, that's meant to represent electricity as well, like, but, look at that. I've put new strings on, it's clean, isn't that beautiful? And he had a little red blotch on his nose that, you know what I mean? It was weird. He had a white, he had this red, but the only bit of red on him was there, like, you know what I mean? You get me, like? He's not smart. Number one on the dog, because I might be going into rehearsal very, 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 very soon, and hopefully to do some live streams. If not, I'll take a video camera and record stuff, because I've never done a live stream with the phone and all that. Like, I've never tried it, like, proper, like, especially with music playing loud, like. So it'd be interesting, won't it? Might be next couple of days, might be next week, but I'm definitely gonna go for it. I bought a new lead today, guitar lead, and it didn't even work properly. Can't believe it. Alright, we've emptied it. Let's go, we've done it. Managed. Please don't overflow. Please don't overflow. I hate that. Hate that when it overflows, you know what I mean? Because it's like a waste, isn't it? It's alright. There we go. 4.2, right? Guinness original extra stout. Dark and lively. Been a long, I can't remember the last Guinness original I've had. Bloody Nora. I mean, when I was younger, this is like back in about 1999, right? I was so like heavily drinking. I wasn't an alcoholic or nothing. I had that binge, you know what I mean? It was so bad. I remember buying a crate of this stuff once in cans, and it was like meant to be 12 cans, like 12 cans of full size, like more or less pints. 12 cans of Guinness original, yeah, right. But it was a special offer, and you got 3 cans for free. So there was 15 cans in this box, right? And I put them in the fridge going, whoa, that's going to last me about 3-4 days maybe, you know what I mean? They were all gone the next day. All 15 cans. Like by the midday the next day or something, but by the evening the next day. That's when I was really hammering it, like. And I discovered whiskey and things like that back then, like, So guys, my beer reviews are lightweight compared to what I used to do, like, this is before I moved to Morton and all that kind of stuff and party and everything. This was on my own in a house, like, But anyway, there we go, it's settled down. There you go. Foam. That gives you another cum shot, like, like, especially with this, because it was, I did have a love affair with this stuff once upon a time. I really did, like. Look at that. Where is he? Oh my word, get on the camera. Oh, this is ridiculous. Look at that. That's a bizarre one, man. Yeah, like a, Knickerbocker glory, like. myself that it was full of like ash, you know what I mean? It's, you know, I've been smoking and all, it's just been there for ages with a bit of ash in it, like, you know, like. Alright, aroma. Sorry it took so long, guys. Yeah, like nutty. I can't really describe the smell of this. It's not the same as Guinness Draft, is it? Ooh, what's the best way to describe it? It hasn't changed. I'll say that for nothing. What's the best way to describe that aroma, man? Malty. A bit like Marmite, isn't it? Right. Nothing's changed, smells the same. Looks good. Actually looks quality. I bought it in the Asda for like, I think it was £2.39 a bottle, I'm not too sure. It was £2.39. I tell you what, it looks good. The little tiny little bubbles, you know, the little tiny bubbles. That gives you like a look at quality. You know, red like blood, guys. This is the, what do you call it? Communion. This is the communion wine, isn't it? You know. Right. It's quite late. It's like, well, it's near 12. It's gone past 12 now, hasn't it? Yeah, it's 17 minutes past 12. And something it took so long, guys. You know, get off. It don't make me. I hate it when my phone says face recognition. You've got to type a number in. Just checking the time or something. Yeah, it looks black. It looks alright. Magnolia head. Beige, magnolia, call it what you want. It's not white anyway. Whereas like draft is always white, isn't it? The head's white on a Guinness draft. It's black and white, isn't it? It just looks like Knickerbocker Glory, chocolate flavour, Neapolitan ice cream or something. You know, what the chocolate bit like? Alright, let's get on with it quick. Let's see what we've got here. I don't know if I've ever reviewed this. I'm sure I haven't. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's Guinness Original Extra Stout. 4.2%. Oh, yeah. Malty. It's a lot lighter and fluffier than it used to be. It used to be a bit more body to it, and the fizz had a bit more like a corkiness to it. I don't know how to describe it. The mouthfeel used to have a corky feel to it, like a corky taste. Right, it's dead close. But what I noticed straight away is the water seems more lighter. Like it's a better quality water, like the water treatment is improved. I don't know. It's got a lovely light, like a Miller Lite or whatever. You know, like when you get a diet beer kind of thing when it's light. You know, it's got that vibe to it. Like it's not as heavy bodied. I'm trying to get rid of that. What, mate? It's just weird. That Knickerbocker Glory thing on the edge there. What's going on? Trying to get that out the way, like. Hey, wasn't the match good last night? Liverpool Newcastle was actually a really good game, that wasn't it? And congratulations to the young lad Leo. What a brilliant goal, mate! What composure! I mean, I don't think Newcastle hammered Liverpool. They pushed them and they looked good, didn't they? You know what I mean? But Liverpool are all about just getting the goals, aren't they? Do you understand? It's about it's always been the same. As Saint Greaves, Jimmy Greaves used to say, "How many takes a second to score a goal, Saint C?" And that's it, you know what I mean? 3 seconds of brilliance is all it took, isn't it? But anyway, we did kind of get pressed, and they played really good, Newcastle, until Anthony Gordon blew it. Because he was playing all right, wasn't he? He actually looked good, didn't he? He looked threatening. Commiserations to Newcastle, very unfortunate. But what a great game! What a brilliant bit of competition, All right, it's like they always give you drama, don't they, Liverpool? They always dramatic and really fun. None of this boring stuff. 5-0 victories and all that, We don't want to do that. We do it on purpose. But I'm trying to get rid of this Knickerbocker glory thing here. Let's get light. Let's monitor the feel good factor. We'll get more into the taste. Yeah, lighter mouthfeel, less of the carbonation. Used to be fizzier. Bubbles used to be a bit more, used to be bubblier on the palate. That's the way I remember it. The taste, it's got that dark malty flavour, almost marmitey, but it's quite refreshing and drinkable, isn't it? It's dark, it's bitter. It reminds me of beer in the 70s. It does. It's not just Guinness in the 70s, just beer and bitter and all the beers back in the 70s, Tetley and all that. It used to have that hoppy, dark hoppiness to it. It's got that 70s vibe about it. My first memory of getting buried on Guinness was New Year's Eve party when we were kids. 1970 it was. 1969 going into 1970. And I was only 5 years old. And all the relatives were in the living room singing and stuff and having a Irish session kind of thing, because we had quite a lot of Catholic Irish relatives and stuff like that. And there was loads of bottles of Guinness on the table in the kitchen with loads of other cans of beer and all that kind of stuff. And I sneaked into the kitchen and opened the bottle of beer, opened the bottle of Guinness on my own, didn't tell anyone, and drank the bottle. I remember going to the toilet up the stairs and nearly falling down the stairs backwards and thinking, whoa, what's this beer? I'm enjoying this. But I nearly fell down the stairs and it was a bottle of Guinness. Bottle of that. The little bottles though, you know what I mean? Only the little bottle. Yeah, I was going in the kitchen and nicking things because it was one of them nights, and you go to your mum and dad and say, "Can I have a swig of this? Can I have a swig of that?" And they go, "Yeah, here you go, have a little tot of port or whatever, Always remember that night, all the relatives all singing and that, all drunk and that, everyone taking turns and that, Those are the days. Even my mum sang. Right, memories. Dark, corky. I'm very impressed with the water. It's definitely cleaner and more refined, shall we say. They've definitely made a bit of effort on the water. Just getting rid of these fluffy bits off the edge. Has it got the warmth and is it kicking in like it used to? I don't know. Feels lighter. I'm sorry about this being drawn out, guys. If anyone watches it and they go, just do the review, mate. Do you know what I mean? Stop waffling. But have you seen how long it took for that to settle? I cannot drink out of a glass with it. You know what I mean? I've got to empty that bottle before I start the review. You understand? Or the can. Let's give you a colour shot, show you how the head is dissipated. That was quite nice, doesn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm feeling pleasant, Should get me bodging out, shouldn't I, and start singing? That'll sort the neighbours out, won't it? What's good in the glass? Um, Starting to warm me up. Starting to feel it. Pleasant, pleasant. I've got this theory that wherever the beer or the drink or the spirit is brewed, you go to that country. When you drink that, you go to Ireland. Um, when you drink tequila, you go to Mexico, which is to me, it was always a pleasant experience. That when you drink whiskey, you go to Scotland or Ireland, respectively. Do you know what I mean? Wherever it's brewed, you go there. And if I drink Glenafric's, which is brewed in Birkenhead, my head goes up my arse. Because I live in Birkenhead, you know what I mean? Don't know what to do. But anyway, no, it's Scottish beer, isn't it, Glenafric's? But it's brewed in Birkenhead. Mm. Okay, that full roasted nutty flavour. Like I know, since I became a brewer and brewed my own beers, I know what they do to make this. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like I've learned everything. I'm hopefully going to try and brew some beers soon. But I need a cooking device. I need like gas bottle, like a Cala gas bottle to do it properly with a proper flame. And I've got a big pot and everything. I've got all the stuff. I've got it all. Check me. Anyone who watches me beer reviews, if you're interested, check me homebrew beer reviews. Do a search on my channel. Homebrew beer reviews. There's one I do called Duke the Nuke, which is like a Belgian dark 10% a job, like, you know what I mean? And it was just dynamic, and you should see it on the camera what it looks like. And it was my second homebrew, guys. My first homebrew was from a kit, the tin from Wilkinson's. So I wasn't really making a big deal of that. Whereas my second homebrew, I did my own malts and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I bought raw malts and what they call all grain brewing. Made my own candy sugar. Used Belgian yeast. Really made an effort to make it like a Belgian monk Trappist thing. And it was lethal, guys. It was lethal. It was dynamite, and it was really enjoyable to drink. And I actually said on the review, this blows Guinness away, because this reminds me of it, but it blew this away. It was more like bourbon biscuits, meats, blackcurrant. It was mind blowing, with like ethanol, pure alcohol thing, because of this candy sugar. You know what I mean? But my next beer of a brew, next time I brew a beer, it's going to be mind blowing, because I've done the homework and I've had the eureka moments of sussed out the calculus and everything. And I've got the equipment to make it easy. None of those Muslim sacks. I'm not talking about Muslims, by the way. No bad mouthing. I wish people would stop. Look, I watch YouTube, right? I watch Charlie Veach and Billy Moore and everyone, right? I want just to put this declaration on camera, right? Wow, because this is kicking in and start truth drug, I watched, in Liverpool when they had the protest thing recently. Charlie Veach and Billy Moore were both kind of like, and there's a dude on camera called Callum, a Scouse dude, who was like, he backs Palestine and he's a Muslim dude, right? He's a sound fella, him, guys. When he's got the megaphone and everything. I'm a bit miffed with you guys. I'm a bit miffed. I saw him telling Billy Moore, you don't use your platform to say the right words, man. He wasn't being funny or mean or he was just like, I'm using this platform, I'm saying, that Callum dude, right, guys, with the megaphone. I read all the comments underneath and everyone's going, that fella with the megaphone, like, get off his case, guys. You know what I mean? I'm sure Billy Moore will understand what I'm talking about here, but I don't think Charlie Veach has got a clue, mate. I'm a bit miffed with him, mate. I don't think he's got the right idea what's going on, like. Right, so I'm using this platform to say to people, right, Stop assuming that all the illegal immigrants are doing it because of Islam or being Muslim. Okay? Right? And that's what that Callum was on to, like saying, use your platform to at least say some good words about people who support. I'm not being political or pro or against or anything like that. I'm quite a neutral person, right? But when people say, free Palestine and all that kind of thing, right? They mean it in an innocent way, like they just seen the press and the media giving. Because it all could be crap what's being thrown out. I don't know. Unless I set foot in Palestine myself or in Israel myself, I can't verify nothing. I don't believe everything I see on the screen. But that dude, mate, that Scouse lad called Callum, man, he had the megaphone. Come on, guys. He's a sound lad, then, mate. I don't care what anyone says. Right. And I'm a bit upset with Charlie Veach, mate. He says Islamists and Muslims as if all people, who are involved with Islam or Muslims are bad. Which is not true, isn't it, guys? It's not true. Right? And the other thing he does is when he points at the people who are saying free, okay, I get the lefty thing, I get the people who are all trans and all that business, all kind of like joining in and making it a mishmash and making it confusion, right? They're making it confusion, Nazi scum off our streets, all that business, right? I don't fall for any of that myself, but I hate when people have badmouth people because they're Muslims or Islamists. It's wrong. It's like they're all bad, right? And the real point I'm making is like, what's the actual kick here, man? Is like Charlie Veach. You should be ashamed of yourself, lad. The way you shit there on the street. You really should be ashamed of yourself, honestly, the way you kick off on people, whether they're trans or anything like that. He calls middle-aged people grannies, he calls older men granddad. He kicks off on people because they've got bad teeth and says, go and see a dentist. What the hell? He looks at everyone on the streets of Manchester going, crackies, crackies. Mate, what are you playing at? What are you playing at? But you know that dude called Callum, mate? I'll back him up all the way, mate. I'll use my platform and say that fella is a really nice fella, mate. And he ain't doing nothing wrong, right? And the other thing they keep doing is, if someone says free Palestine, and especially Charlie Veach, mate, not Billy Moore so much, Billy Moore's alright, right? Do you know what I mean? But I think he's got caught up in the whirlwind, do you know what I mean? Because Callum was kicking off on everyone, wasn't he, mate? And he's a sound lad, mate. I'll back him up all the way. I'm not a Muslim, you know what I mean? I'm not anything to do with any religion, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've got faith, I believe in God and all that. But what really peeves me is when people like Charlie Veach say, because someone's saying free Palestine, pointing at them and saying they support Hamas. What a load of poppycock guys, what a load of, I don't know, got something to do with the army or something, lads, you know what I mean? Wrong, so wrong, mate. Saying, remember the people that just stop oil and all that, and they were super gluing themselves to the roads and all that, like, or throwing paint at pictures in galleries. They're all sorts of wallies, but they haven't got obviously, man, they're not going to stop oil, are they doing that? But you've got to allow for people being wallies or just following the news or the media. Now, accusing anyone who says free Palestine supporting Hamas or terrorism is bull crap. I don't want to swear on this street, but I just want to. But I'm using my platform. I'm on the record. I don't care what anyone thinks of me for this. Callum in Liverpool, if anyone watches this video and you want to share it with them, or tell them Bruce mentions you, like, you know what I mean, roller coaster rides with you, man. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves, pointing at everyone saying Islamists or Muslims are purely responsible. Or, because, like, there's been some, like, human trafficking gangs or whatever, or illegal immigrants who've done naughty things, associating all Pakistanis with anything like sexual crimes or whatever. There's all kinds of crap I could mention. I'm a bit upset with the way YouTube is allowing things, you know what I mean? Not like filtering and stuff, But you want to get your views, guys. You want to do your clickbait, fair enough. Anyway, back to the beer. I wanted to talk about this stuff, man. Obviously, if I was a Muslim, I wouldn't be allowed to drink, would I? So just go. Nah, there's a lot of twisting and misinformation going out on YouTube lately, and I'm a bit miffed about it. Because Liverpool's not far from me. I'm in Birkenhead. If I'd known that protest was going on, I would have gone over there, just to have a word with Charlie Beach. You know what I mean? I watched an interview with his bodyguard, Fred, and I thought, wow, he's a sound lad, mate. He's a sound lad and all that, and he's had a history, and he's had some horrible grief and all that. And he's on the spectrum, I'm on the spectrum, you know what I mean? And he seems like a sound lad, and I'm thinking, what are you doing hanging out with that Charlie Beach shit there, man? Sorry I swore there, but I understand him just doing his, being paid and doing his job, and like I say, give him credit, for but I was very upset with them all kicking off on that Callum dude, mate. And I'm using my platform to make that known. I don't agree with it whatsoever. That Callum dude, if you ever watch it, this, mate, you got my 100% heart and soul backing, you know what I mean? Because the comments underneath Charlie Beach's video were disgusting, mate. Saying the guy with the little fella with the megaphone, mate. Fred, mate. Bodyguard Callum instead, mate. You get a better vibe. Charlie Beach, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. You're off your head. I think you need medical attention, mate. You know what I mean? I think you've got a bit of a screw loose. I don't want to say the word, but you're a shit starer. You really are. Or even the police must be miffed with him, mate. He's a shy me. He was bad mouthing the police on one hand, and then he looks at the police and goes, yeah, well done for doing this and that. I'm sorry, if I was a copper, I'd be like, get out of my way, lad. You know what I mean? Bodyguards, go and work for someone else. You get paid. Let that dude get you into trouble. It's ridiculous. Callum, if you're watching, mate, we'll do a little toast to you, mate. I know you might not be into alcohol and stuff but I can't badmouth him. Man, come on, guys. Have YouTube viewers got any brains anymore these days? I'll go to Manchester one day. I might be going there to see a band soon, you know what I mean? I'll go into Piccadilly, into Piccadilly Square, because the hotel I usually stay at's just up the road. I know Manchester quite well now, because I've stayed there a couple of times in a hotel, you know what I mean? I'll go into Piccadilly with my little camera and everything. I'll talk to those people in Piccadilly, whether they're crackheads, drinkers, Islamists, Palestine supporters, gay, straight, trans, you name it. I'll talk to all of them, and you watch they'll all buzz off me. Whether I agree with them or not, that's not the point. I'll show you what a good guy I am compared to some of these vloggers that are just causing trouble. It's ridiculous. Don't know if anyone agrees with me. Put your comments in the comment section. Please share the video. And not for views, not for me, not for getting subs and nothing like that. So I'll get if anyone knows Charlie Beach sees this, share with him. I'm prepared to sit down with Charlie Beach at the table and talk to him, man. You know what I mean? And say, come on, man. Palestinian supporters are all supporting Hamas. You need a brain transplant, lad. Do you know what? It's quite drinkable, lad. It's definitely lighter. It's kicking in, obviously, and I've got a second beer to review, so I'm quite excited about that. But I've waffled. I don't know, some people, you see, I used to do speeches on YouTube, right? I'm not a beer reviewer officially, okay? Proper beer reviews, the beer reviews last 15 minutes, right? I used to do speeches on YouTube, I used to do these long talks. If I could talk for 2-3 hours, I'd do it. Right, and I used to get people putting in the comment section, please, Bruce, do more of these speeches, because you're telling us something we don't know. And trust me, I know a lot. I'm 60 years old. I'm not a whippersnapper. I'm 60 years old, crying out loud. I've, got a bit of got a story to tell. So, don't take the Michael. Alright. Unless it's Iron Mike. There's only one Iron Mike out there, you know you are, mate. Yeah. It's I think the water's improved in this. It's proper fluffy light. And as you get further down the glass, the bitterness dissipates. The bitterness dissipates. It gets smoother, softer. It's got them lovely toffee notes, which are a bit like single toffee. Not bad at all, guys, I've got to say. Not bad at all. It's in the bottles in the shops. I bet you if I went to Ireland and I drank Guinness in a pub, you know, the good stuff that everyone talks about, I bet you I prefer this. I bet you £1,000,000. Well, £20. Let's finish it off, man. Let's go. But yeah, Callum, if you're watching, mate, I'm using my platform. I am using my platform. I do video reviews, and I can't wait to get out and play my music and play some guitar or whatever. I can get on the streets and play, but I'll talk as much as I can. I'm not anti-Israeli. I'm not anti-Jewish or nothing like that, right, folks? I'm not anti-Semitic or anything like that, right? But likewise, I'm not anti-Muslim or anti-Arab or any of those things. I'm not anti-Pakistani. You know what I mean? I've probably got my head screwed on, mate. A bad man. Are you telling me? You know when people say all these things that are happening, like these like rings of illegal immigrants and that, like doing this and that. Do you seriously think if you work for Vice Squad or you work for the law, there wouldn't be no such thing as English sex trafficking gangs or French sex trafficking gangs or um, Scottish sex trafficking gangs or Welsh or Irish or any other country, American or whatever? You think none of those criminals exist in any other world other than like either Islamists, Pakistani or Muslim or whatever? This is getting a bit like ridiculous. I'm seeing like a very procured master plan to make people hate each other. So I'll use my platform there. And that Callum, mate, big up for him, mate. I actually think he was brilliant for standing his ground and being, I've got on against that Fred dude, guys, right? But I think he really needs to stop and think, dude, get it, what's the word? The rain check. Take a rain check and think, mate, come on, shouldn't be kicking off on Callum. He's got a lot of respect out there. It is Callum, and the dude's name, as far as I know. The Scouse lad, he was like, he wasn't there for any lefty reasons or anything like that. He's a humanitarian, for crying out loud. Get a grip. You just want to get views on YouTube, guys. Carry on, like, you know what I mean? I mean, like I say, Billy Moore's proved himself that he's a good fella, like, you know what I mean? But I'm a bit worried about that Charlie Beach, mate. He's a bit, like, silly, like. What you tell him that, like, oh, I'm prepared to see. If he ever goes to Liverpool, then he wants to sit and talk with me. And we have a discussion at the table and that, like, let's do it, like. Anyway, let's round off this review. It's fluffy light. It's got the old school flavour. It hasn't got the mouthfeel and the fizz. I used to love the carbonation of it, like. It's more gentler, it's more delicate. But it's got the taste. Malty, nutty. Almost marmitey. They say you either love or hate Marmite. Well, I love Marmite. I love it on toast and stuff, like. I love it. Didn't love it when I was a kid, because when the very first time I made a Marmite sandwich, I put it on like jam, didn't I? The only thing I was like jam. And it was disgusting, you know what I mean? But when I was older, I started seeing a chick, right? And she did toast with Vegemite. Vegemite, like, she put the Vegemite on the toast just right, dead thick. You're not meant to put it on dead thick, you know what I mean? You're meant to just put a little fine layer on, yeah. And it put me onto it, like, I was like, wow. So I did it with Marmite, and I was like, wow. Then I sampled crumpets with butter, Marmite, and cheese on top. later on down the line. But it didn't do me spare tire any good. Like this might not do me spare tire any good, but who cares? I don't care. Yeah, it's looking red. Yeah, it's much lighter, much fluffier, very drinkable. I'm feeling good. Truth drug. Truth drug. Guinness is a truth drug to me. Well, Dubliners. It's a band, isn't it? I prefer the Chieftains. You've got Paddy Maloney on the old Ulian harp, you know. But that's an I give that a 10. I give that a 10. It's nice, it's quality, it's a fair price. It's in a bottle. What more can you ask for? It's from Dublin. Dublin means black, doesn't it? The Black River or something or whatever. 10 out of 10, thanks for watching. See you later. Sorry to boys, guys. I mean, if anyone watches this beer review and you're a bit pissed off at me for like, come on, damn, dude. I'm doing a speech. I'll do a beer review in a minute, alright? Thanks for watching. See you later. Tell them, mate. He doesn't say no words, he just barks. But it's too late in a minute, you're not allowed to bark tonight. Too late for him to bark. See you later. Thanks for watching, by the way.